Lometa, Texas at a Riders2Racers ride day. So today is, I believe, their first ride day that they've been putting on. They've been doing a lot of YouTube stuff and photography, and today is the first day that they've gotten a property, actually a brand new property, to do a ride day on. So this property was virgin, I think, until this week. They started breaking in the trail. Heard a lot of feedback from riders yesterday about Hero dirt. A little more dusty today. Some of the dirt has rubbed off the top surface and maybe a little bit rockier today, but I think it's going to be a great day. It's cloudy and windy, in the 60s, so perfect day for weather. And we're going to work on a few things today. Just being smooth on the trail, still standing up in that standing position. Obviously hips out, back straight, and power forward, braking back. So we're just gonna go out there and be smooth and not worry about trying to ride at race pace or be fast or anything. Just be smooth and have fun. All right, let's get on the trail. All right, so you might be asking what I'm doing here, because it looks like I'm rocking back and forth, and that's actually kind of what I'm doing. So this is just a little first gear warm-up drill that I've been doing, just power forward, braking back, but power forward in a standing position where you get your foot coming over that foot peg and pushing forward and really leaning far forward over that foot peg there. So, and then braking back, just getting way back to the back wheel. So this first lap here is just a warm-up lap. I'm actually kind of going really slow here, just getting used to the trail, getting passed by, I think that was Aiden Geiser. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but I know he's always up there near the podium in the A class. So that's me checking out the expert line. That hill looks about 10 feet tall on the GoPro, but it was about 50, I would say 40 to 50 feet tall. And the top of it it went from here to like really steep towards the top. So I was staying away from that one. Jumped on the throttle here, even on the warm-up lap. I was kind of proud of myself. I hit 30 miles per hour in a lot of those little short open sections, which normally, at least on my older bike, it took me a while to get up to that speed. Some of the tight stuff, the course was actually really well marked, had a lot of orange paint. This, yeah, this section was tight.
Good practice for me. Forces me to sit in a lot of these turns.
This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Normally I'm standing in all these turns.
I guess I'll be sitting down a little bit more today. It was really nice. By the end of the day, I had almost low-sided the bike a couple times, really got
little tire deflection
some
there.
tree slap there. But almost low-sided the bike a couple times. Really started finding that edge as to how far I could lean it.
This part of the trail that is shiny is what worries me. I start thinking, how much traction am I really gonna get there? All right, it's kind of windy out here. Hopefully you can hear me. I put the
media attachment on, so it's got a wind dampener, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, but the warm-up lap was fun. It's a lot more turny than I thought it was going to be. I mean, people said there was some nice open sections, so there's 90-degree turns, and not only the 90-degree turns, but back to back to back to back. Definitely can't stand through that stuff, and what I've been working on mostly lately is standing, so this is kind of forcing me to get into like that transition of standing to sitting, back to standing. One video that stands out to me is the Tyler Livesay video where to get from a power forward position back to a standing position, you don't move your head or chest at all, you just drop your heels. So I've been practicing that out there, which is kind of cool. Anyway, what I'm gonna do now is just like probably a 90-minute ride. And if I feel good, maybe 2 hours, but you know, just use it as a practice ride to practice my technique for like a long period of time. Not necessarily like work on going super fast race pace. Definitely not race pace, but I'm gonna take the hard lines this time. They looked kind of mellow and compared to what I normally ride at C-Tour, so probably won't take the expert line. That one expert line that goes up that hill pretty far, the camera mutes it, but it gets really steep there at the end. The beginnings doesn't look too hard at all, but at the end it looks pretty tough. So yeah, let's get out there and ride and have some fun. All right, so this is me taking one of the hard lines on my second lap. This is actually pretty steep, and I lock up the brake right in this section. Back end starts sliding around, and I'm thinking maybe I should just roll it instead.
Up the rear.
Yeah, I locked up the rear for sure. Maybe I shouldn't have pulled in the clutch, I don't know, but when I don't pull in the clutch, then I stall it, so I don't know. I liked that sign there, pond up ahead, in case anyone was gonna launch off that hill, like right into the pond. The course was well marked. I never got off the course. So come up upon this kid here.
Is your dad out here? Is your dad out here?
Yeah.
Where is he?
I just gotta find him.
Do you want me to follow you until you see your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'll follow you.
He says he's just gotta find them. I have kids. I have 3-year-old, 6-year-old, 10-year-old, 13-year-old, and on up. I got more kids than that too, but if I see a kid out here alone, I'm thinking, let's help him find his parents. That's my first thought. So he's out here on a KTM E2, which I would love to have for my kid. But my 3-year-old's on a Stasic 12-inch right now, and I have a PW50 waiting for him. These KTM E2s are selling for like $4,000 or $5,000, but they can ride all day on them. So, and the batteries are swappable too. My 6-year-old rides on a KTM E5. The battery's not swappable on that. So I see the dad up ahead there. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Just keep following the kid, go talk to the dad, say, hey, you lost your kid. But that's not what happened. The dad knew what was going on the whole time. I didn't. And so the dad rides off here, and I'm thinking, wait a second, I need to talk to you. So I will admit, I'm an overprotective parent. When I first learned to ride with my, I guess that's it. Yeah. So when I learned to ride with my kids, I rode right behind them. You know, if they fall, I pick them up. If they get stuck, this dad, you know, every parent's different, and I fully admit that there's a spectrum there. And what he's doing is not wrong, but he's just skipping ahead and waiting for his kid to catch up.
Hey,
which actually is kind of cool.
I saw him and I said, hey, where's your dad? And I said, do you want me to follow you until you find your dad? He said, yeah. So that's why I was following him.
Gotcha. Okay.
I didn't realize you were doing the skip ahead thing.
Oh, sure.
All right, see you later. Have fun. I got kids too.
He didn't really seem that impressed. Oh, so I stumble upon my friends here. This is the Montoyas. Nate is in here. I don't know who this rider in the red is. I didn't really meet him. And then Brad is in here too.
Two mistake incidents in a row.
The one before that one was pretty sensitive.
So I'm stopping. I'm like, okay, they're gonna do some cool stuff here. Let's watch. That's exactly why I stopped. So I think when I stopped, Nate was trying to do something, but then he stopped.
Oh, you're so cool! Slower and faster, bro.
And then Brad comes out with
the
this
whole thing. Oh, I thought
12 o'clock wheelie. You can follow him on Instagram at brad. Does some cool stuff. Lately he's been playing a lot of piano though. Less dirt biking. This is another one of the hard lines where I get some of that rough stuff. That's exactly what I'm saying there. I started standing up, I get scared in some of the sketchy stuff, and I sit down, and I know I need to stand up. And it's frustrating for me as a rider because I've been practicing standing up so much over the past year. I feel so much more comfortable when I am in the rough stuff. Here we are starting lap 2. But when I'm in the rough stuff, like this kind of stuff, it's rocky. There's going to be a couple root sections up here. I feel so much more comfortable when I'm standing on the pegs in that kind of section. When I'm going 10 miles per hour or above or something like that. But if it's the slow, sketchy stuff, either slow, tight stuff, slow, super sketch stuff, I get a little scared on the bike and I sit down. So I was kind of making fun of myself back there. I'm a slow, scared rider.
blew that corner bad too.
There's a lot of those 50-yard straightaways in between the turny sections, and I was pretty impressed. Like I would power forward out of those corners and get up to like 25-30 miles per hour, which on that tight of a section, that's good for me, getting up to that speed. This bike will go. Like if you twist the throttle, like there's no hesitation, it just goes. Some of those overhanging limbs, there's orange paint. Never had any issue with those. So it was kind of them to be out there and painting the course. So I think this was a father-son. I think this is the son in tow here. They look like they're 8 riders.
Look at them blow that berm.
And that was pretty sweet how the son, his rear tire hits that berm and blows it out. That was cool. I wish I could do that.
Notice how they were both sitting down too? Yeah, so it's something that I'm like starting to recognize in some of the faster riders. I really did have this misconception, and I think this was last year or sometime, like all the faster riders are standing up 80% plus of the time. Because when you see cool videos of riders, they're standing up, taking those bumps. You know, a lot of the supercross guys standing up, of course in the corners, coming out of the corners are sitting down, but those courses get really gnarly and they're standing up, so I'm thinking...
I'm not going to do it again. I did it once.
I just skipped the hard sections after the first lap.
It's going to be safe and ride now.
But I'm thinking, okay, well if I'm going to be one of those faster riders one day, I'm going to stand
The
up.
problem is if you jam hard on the... I feel like somebody's behind me, but it's not right. You jam hard
And
on
so
that
I've been
brake
practicing.
on the downhill. Your back end wants to come around.
Yeah, so I pulled the clutch in, mashed pretty hard on the rear brake, and it locked it up, and that rear end wants to slide around, so I need to practice those downhills a little bit more. But yeah, I've been practicing standing up so much that I think my sitting technique has suffered a little bit, and I'm by far faster sitting down than I am standing up.
Almost low-sided those rocks there.
But I have this thought process of I need to be standing in order to be a B rider someday,
My bike was sliding out for sure. I don't know how I saved it. Must have gotten on the throttle accidentally.
in order to start winning races in my C class. And I think I'm starting to realize after watching racers and following faster riders
Come on, Chris, lean that bike when you got good traction.
that notion is not exactly true. I even watch a lot of the pro riders in our series, and they all sit a lot. Now there's some that stand a lot, like Nate, he stands almost primarily. Like when he powers out of a corner.
You can't get hard on the front brake when you're going down a hill like that. So when you realize you're going too fast down a hill, your only option is to jam hard on the rear brake. Which definitely unsettles the bike and makes the back end want to skid, but better than jamming too hard on the front brake. Then you're going over the handlebars.
Yeah.
Right,
So like when Nate powers out of a corner, he's almost his head's almost over the front wheel. And let's see, who else we got? John Gentry, he sits a lot. Brian Johnson sits a lot. Riley sits a lot, but I've been seeing a lot more standing from him lately this year. Hudson sits a lot. I think what I've seen of Dylan Ramos, like he's like more 50-50, like sit stand. Who else am I forgetting? Oh, Brad. He stands. He's got good standing technique. Like coming into a corner, his standing braking technique looks really good. So there's just a good mixture, and I think there's no right way to do it. I don't know where they went. They must have went somewhere off course and were doing an obstacle, and then I passed them, and then they passed me back. But yeah.
And they're gone again.
I think what I'm starting to realize is going fast is being comfortable
on those two guys
on the bike.
Well, I guess I got pretty hard on the brake without the clutch.
And riding both comfortable and safely. safely is maybe the wrong word there, but if you're doing something that makes you comfortable, you're able to go faster. So if you're comfortable sitting, you go faster. If you're more comfortable standing, like using your legs as kind of shock absorbers, then you'll be able to go faster doing that. And so what I'm starting to realize is there's no magic formula for going fast. I'm hoping all the work that I put in pays off, because then I'll be able to kind of adapt to different scenarios. You know, if the terrain calls for like sitting, like a lot of these sections here, I'm about to get into like a really tight section where we had probably 11 corners in a row that were just 90 degree or greater.
That was a great break and roll. Yes, that was good. From my book at least.
I pat myself on the back every time I hear that change header. I'm like, yes, yes. Because I took a lesson with Cody and he was teaching me that. It's like, you want that chain to chatter. So every time that happens, I'm like, yes, yes. All right. So here we go. Oh, yeah, it's after this lane. This 90 degree left coming up is kind of the start of it. So we got these aren't 90 degrees yet, so it's coming up, I think, right here. So 1, 90 left here.
Oh, I missed the front brake. I missed the back
A 90
brake.
right. A 90 left. A 90 left. And some S turns here. We got a big 180 coming up here. Right here.
Ah. Damn, that guy's fast.
That guy was fast.
He was on
As you can see, I'm standing up right here. Then I'm right side sitting down for this 180 left coming up.
Execute that corner way better sitting down. That's where my comfort is.
So that section was just full of tight turns. I think there's a couple longer straights where you can stand up on and then get in a good braking back position. But
no, he was on a 4-stroke.
For most of that section, you're just sitting, and that's fine. I think that's the way to do it.
Let's not bang our head this time.
So this is lap number 2. When I get into laps 3 and 4, I think I do even better going through those sections. And this course wasn't extremely difficult. Like, there's a lot of flowy stuff like this. But I'm definitely leaning the bike more and getting on the throttle hard coming out of some of these corners. And if I can do that on the race coming up that we have in a couple weeks, I think I'll be doing pretty good. Like, it is just time for me to not get last in my class anymore. Look at that. I kind of blew that turn, but that was good braking.
I remembered.
So I got up to 29 there.
See, I feel like third would be good there, but this bike gets so much power in the high RPMs. Why not just leave it in second? I'm gonna need to be in second anyway for that corner.
That's kind of an internal debate I had all day. So
That hurt my finger.
if you have a stretch that's like 7,500 yards, do you go up into third gear?
I can adjust that down.
Because
that really did hurt my finger.
these KTMs get a lot of horsepower up at
But I
like
slapped the branch there.
10, 11, 12,000 RPMs, and if you switch into third, you're not getting as much power out of the engine. And so even if you top out at second, I think it's okay. Like, you're gonna, even if you switch to third, you're gonna switch right back down to second going into that corner. And unless you're pulling the clutch in, which you're not really supposed to do around the corner, but I know a lot of woods riders like to do that. And so, what do you do in flowy sections like this? Do you just let it rev out? Or, so if we were driving a car, we would shift up to third. Like, we don't want to red line it every single time going from light to light, but
Oh, Chris.
I just blew that. Yeah. But if you're in a situation like this where you're trying to go fast, revving it out sounds like the way to go, even though your mind's telling you, I need to shift, I need to shift. So this is the fastest section on the course here. I'm gonna pin it right here in third gear.
Alright, that was wide open. I gotta see how fast I went there. I know I was.
So that was 47 miles per hour.
Come on, baby. You know you did.
That was good. That's the fastest I've ever gone on a dirt
I'm
bike.
taking that one again.
And then the next lap, I'll beat that too. So stay tuned. And I just actually set the speed record back in February at the Sandwinder Enduro. I hit 42 in one of the open stretches there. But I think you can tell when I'm starting to... Oh, look at that dirt right there. That stuff is sketchy. When it gets shiny like that, I don't want to be on that dirt. So I hit 42 on an open field at Sandwinder, and I was like, oh, I'm so fast. I'm not really. But I know there's a B guy that I'm friends with, and he's up to like 50 in the races, and so I'm like, I'm kind of using that as a benchmark of like what I need to be doing. So I know a lot of those B riders, they ride in third gear a lot, so I'm mostly a second gear rider. So on this course, almost the whole thing I was in second gear, and then in that open section that we just went through, I went up to third, had it pinned, and then the next lap I'll do it in fourth, pinned. This section was rocky. It was kind of
better if I was off the seat. But I was like,
So I'm kind of telling myself, like, maybe it would be better if I'm standing up in that section, but I was like, nah, I'm comfortable. This course, look how smooth it is, so you can sit down on this course. There's a couple bumps right there, but you can primarily sit. You're not going to pay a big penalty for sitting a lot. On some of the courses we ride, if you sit a lot, you pay the price. Like, you're just going to be sore afterwards. I keep looking behind me, like, thinking there's a bike. This time there was a bike. I'm thinking, let's stay with this guy, but I have a really hard time staying with guys, even though I think I'm going pretty fast. Oh, that was a horrible corner. But yeah, it's my cornering that really makes me pay the price with staying with guys, because they're able to carry so much more speed into the corners than I am, and they have good roll speed, and I don't really have great roll speed. I feel like on a lot of the corners where I don't need to slow down a ton, or I can just kind of tap the brakes, or even just use the engine braking to slow down, I'm doing better at knowing that I need good roll speed coming into like the apex of that turn. And it's when I know it's a tighter turn and I'm gonna do full
I feel like my
brake
pants
back
are falling
position
down.
where I'm
I gotta fix that.
oh god, Chris. I really did. I bought these size 34 pants over Christmas because they were like 2 for 1, and I think I need to get them hemmed because I got them as tight as they can do it or go, and they just start sagging a little bit. So what I was saying was, if I get into the full brake back position, where I have my weight over the rear tire, I'm standing on the pegs, and I'll either, I try to get hard, like on this corner right here. You hear that chain chatter? Those are the ones where I don't have good roll speed. I usually end up braking too much. And so I'm kind of learning how much brake do I need to do to slow down to take this corner right. It's just something that's going to take repetition. Like that one.
Came to a complete stop there. That was horrible.
I felt like I was going to roll into it more, and then I realized I was going to overshoot the corner, so I started leading it, and then I braked a little in the corner, and I just completely messed that up. Here I'm in second gear. Should I shift to third or what? Bike will go higher. I'm up to like 33 miles per hour there. Coming to a rocky section, so you gotta slow down. Yeah, I'm yelling at myself there. You just can't brake in the rocks, like especially the front brake. You can't use the front brake.
You okay?
So I always go straight up this hill and around the long way, even though right here I should have taken that little shortcut. All 4 laps, did the same thing. I'm kind of like out here cruising, but I'm out here practicing as well. That's one of the things that I need to do better at the races, is find the good lines. sometimes you save a second, a full second, with a good line in a race. That was a good break. And you start adding those seconds up over the course of a full race, they sure do add up. So I'm in second through this section here, but the next lap, I think I take it in third. And I did find going through this rough section here that it felt a lot smoother. I'm standing on the pegs at both times, but it felt a lot smoother in third than it did in second. So we're coming back down to the pits now. So I keep checking my watch because they gave us these wristbands to wear, and they said they were going to check the wristband, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll put the wristband on, and you know, I don't want it. I'm kind of a rule follower, so I'm like, if they give me a wristband, I'll wear the wristband. And so I had my watch here, and then my wristband here, and then I turned on the GPS tracker, or the workout, and I noticed that my watch, it stopped. It didn't track my full workout when I did that first warm-up lap. I'm like, that's strange, it's never happened before. And it kept asking me to re-log into the watch. And finally what I figured out was the watch had slid over the wristband, and at that point, the watch thinks it's not on your wrist anymore. So standing up through this rough section, I'm so much more comfortable and aggressive than I am sitting down. With all those roots being there. As if I just ripped the wristband off at that point. Everything was working fine after that. I'm able to take these really tight corners definitely faster than what I was able to on my old bike. I see the miles per hour there dipping down into like 7, 8 miles per hour on some of those tight ones, but on my old bike it would have been like 4 or 5. It was so heavy, so not maneuverable. So I'm trying to be smooth here. Not go super fast, but also not go super slow, and really roll through some of these corners. Really the key will be in a couple weeks when we have our race is, can I do these things while I'm under the pressure of people behind me trying to pass me? That'll be the key. So I'm learning these things, I'm practicing these things, but you gotta execute when it counts too. It'll be interesting to see. Now the race that we're having in a couple weeks, this is actually a lot steeper than it looks. You can hear the back wheel locking up there. It's a track and trail. I wish it was 100% trail, but last year they added the track section in, and I got passed by a lot of people on that track section because I don't ride track, and especially a sand track. So, but if it's flowy trail, I was passing people left and right. So I'm not saying I'm super fast at flowy trail, but relatively to people in my class, I'm faster than on the track. Back-to-back 90-degree turns here. So I'm getting up to the 20 miles per hour each time on those straightaways, which is good. This is an off-camber turn. It's tough. I mean, no, it's not tough at all. It's tough to go fast on it though. Off camber with rocks. Can't use your front brake. It's kind of off camber downhill a little bit too. I had a lot of chain chatter on this ride, which is good. I don't normally do that at all. So there's me taking a little cheater line. I didn't get to practice starts on Sunday, but when I went out the previous Sunday, I did practice some starts. I had a really great jump at the first time I raced this bike back in October. Let's see, got it up to 33. It's like, those numbers get so small on that screen. You're like, go fast, go fast, go fast, and then stall. Oh, what was funny was I stalled a lot more this ride than I ever have before because I'm braking so much more aggressively. And so what I did was I started pulling in the clutch more because I'm like, heck, I don't want to stall. I'm like, oh, this is better. But then my back tire started locking up more and coming around, starting to swing around. I didn't really notice it too much until I got home and I pull up YouTube and the first video is AJ on why you shouldn't pull the clutch in braking into turns. And it was exactly that. It's like your rear tire will lock up, and when your rear tire is locked up, you're skidding, not stopping. So the next time I go out, I really need to practice aggressive front braking, medium rear braking, no clutch. I have a tendency to get hard on the rear brake, which is obviously going to stall the bike out. I think I'm consistently hitting 20 miles per hour as long as you have a little bit of runway coming out of these corners. So that's a good sight to see. So we're back in this super tight section. Well, we got to go around the lake first.
I freaking nailed that turn every single
That corner, I did really well on that corner. It wasn't a very difficult corner, but had good roll speed, good lean angle, and really started coming out on the apex, like hitting the throttle.
Oh, Chris.
It's just really good execution.
Can't take
There's another
turns
stall.
in third gear.
Oh yeah, I didn't shift down before the turn. Turns here. Now we're going to start to get into 90 left here. There it is, 90 left. 90 right. There's another 90 left coming up right here. Another 90 left coming up right here. I'm looking at my roll speed. It was good. I saw a couple of those turns. I didn't dip under 10 miles per hour on the turn. A couple of those tight ones too. Shift up to third here or not? I don't know. Just leave it a second. As a friend of mine really likes to stand up in those tight sections like what we just went through there, and I'm like, I like to sit down. I feel like I can maneuver the bike so much easier. I'm talking like 3 and 4 miles per hour, but like I feel like I can maneuver it so much better sitting down. I tend to oversteer standing up in those super tight sections. Gotta be careful taking some of those grassy areas, because there is a one section up here where I took a little shortcut and there was a little tiny, maybe 1 or 2 inch little root sticking up. Or maybe somebody cut down maybe it was a stump. I don't know what it was, but it's right here actually. I probably hit it on the next lap, but it caused my front tire to deflect, and I almost I got a little bit scared there. So trying to take the good lines. I got up to 30 there. That was good. But being really aggressive sitting down here. This is me saying I'm not going to try to go fast, I'm not going to try to go race pace, and then me riding like this.
I am going to take that this time.
And I always do this. I always, if I get confidence, or I'm feeling good, or I'm flowing, I just start riding faster. And then one thing I need to do is just remember what I'm supposed to do, because I can get into trouble real bad. Like a month ago I hit a tree because I whiskey throttled after my handlebar nicked another tree. So yeah, after that I really have been trying to be very disciplined on not just standing on the pegs, but what technique am I using when I'm standing on the pegs.
No.
And so when I hit that, yeah, I accidentally took this almost every time. I just don't like the branches slapping my head if I don't need to. If it's not a race, I'm like, I don't want to do that. So what ended up happening was I noticed I had my hips turned in, my back wasn't straight, my knees were forward, which is actually a pretty dangerous, well, as you know, the teachers or the pros say, it's a dangerous riding position. And so I nicked a tree with my handlebar, and that threw my weight to the back. I wasn't able to brace it at all. And then once my weight got thrown to the back, I whiskey throttled right into another tree.
Oh shit.
So that incident, I pretty much fully recovered from it. And
That was almost a compound mistake then.
when I went route riding a week before this ride, I just focused the whole time on, if I'm gonna stand on the pegs, this is where I hit 49 miles per hour right here. 49.3.
Okay, that was third gear.
That was fourth.
For sure, buddy.
I thought I was in fourth pin there.
I had it locked.
But I did hit 49 there, I just noticed it. Are we on lap 2 or lap 3? I thought I was on the third lap here. I can't read it, it's too fuzzy. It says lap. So when I got home, when I rode the weekend before, I was just disciplined on, if I'm gonna stand, I'm gonna have my back straight every time, I'm gonna have my hips turned out, and I'm gonna have my knees back over my toes. And I did the whole time, and my back was sore, like after 45 minutes of riding, and I rode for 90 minutes. And so this time, every time I went from seated power forward to dropping my heels up into a standing neutral position, I made sure my back was straight, my hips were out.
Oh, this is the section that's getting chewed up.
And
Probably do it faster.
I feel so much more planted and stable on the bike when I do that. And so I know the pros tell you it's a safer position, but I really feel better in that position, even though it's harder on your core to stay in that position. So anyway, yeah, definitely have been working on that. I'm sitting through here, and then I think I'll stand up right in this section. Yeah, right there. A quick glance to the left to make sure there's no vehicles coming, but if there was, I don't know, I don't know if I can stop in time. There's another stall.
The tighter stuff especially.
See, I'm telling myself I need to clutch more to not stall, but I don't think that's the right thing. Like, I was coming around that corner and just got on the back brake, and engine was like, nope, sorry. I think I need to shift. I think most of my stalls were in third gear, and I need to downshift more.
Damn it, Chris. stop fucking stalling everywhere. I mean, Jesus.
It's like when I play tennis and make a stupid shot. I just need to get that one burst of like, damn it, Chris. And once I get that one burst of like, it's not anger, but it's just frustration out, I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm done with it. Forgot. On to the next thing. I'm always yelling at myself.
All right,
on
comment
mistakes like
below.
that.
Am I too hard on the back brake, or am I not clutching enough? So what am I actually doing wrong? That's like 5 stalls on this lap alone.
It's true. So this was before I watched that YouTube video from AJ, but yeah, if you have an opinion, let us know what you think. If you made it this far in the video,
Yeah, I'm not a clutch
give us a thumbs up.
But I know how to slip the clutch going up the hill. Am I still in first gear?
That little rocky section there
Felt like it.
was a lot worse. The GoPro just mellows it out
Okay,
so
back to
bad.
the stalls. What the hell, you know?
So
I
like
guess
you
I
come
don't
around that
normally
tight.
really ride this aggressively. So I'm pretty hard on the back brake. Oh, that was like perfect.
Got up to
I heard the
31
change
there.
ladder. I was harder on the front brake. On that time, I need to get all that braking done before the turn.
Yeah, so the next thing I need to work on with braking is I feel like I've gotten a lot better at braking, but as I said before, the problem is sometimes I'm braking too much with very low roll speed going into the corner. So I think the next thing I need to work on is just judging how much braking I need to do and kind of brake less in some areas, if that makes sense. Love the suspension on this bike. I mean, people hate the air fork, right? Like, it's notorious, but it's so much better than the suspension on my old bike. It was the old Showa suspension from 2006, and I even got a professional to tune it up for me, and
okay.
he made it a ton better than what it was.
Back, but I was sitting braking back. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that turn. Pop it up into third this time.
Okay, so this is where I go into third. It just feels so much smoother in this section going over in third. It's pretty choppy in here. You got a lot of like golf ball, softball sized rock. Not softball sized rocks, but you know, they're kind of half buried.
Okay, I don't know which one was faster,
it wasn't
but
smooth
third
at all.
definitely seemed smoother.
But I felt
like more traction.
yeah, it feels nicer. Quick watch check there. And we're just right back to the pits here for the last lap. was gonna wait for this truck to come through, but then that guy went, and I was like, okay. Sometimes I'm too cautious around other vehicles. Everybody's starting to leave already. I'm gonna go bust another lap out. It was funny, after I got done, I ate some food, sat down for a little while, and I think I want to go for another 90 minutes. I probably could have, but I was the only one left at that point. And they said you could stay till dark, but it's like I don't want to wash my bike in the dark, and you know, I got there the whole day, no injuries, no falls or anything. I'm just gonna count it as good, you know, just call it a day. It was a great day, so I wasn't like disappointed to only ride for 2 hours, but I need to get my act together and get out earlier, because you know, strolling out of bed at 8 a.m., getting the bike put on the trailer, getting your gear ready, filling up your water, your backpack and everything, making food for the day. Yeah, you get out of there at like 10, out of the house at 10, it's an hour and a half drive, get there at 11:30.
Clutch out and go over a rock
Kind of half the day is...
Front end's like, yippee!
I wouldn't say I popped a wheelie, but the front end definitely got a little happy there. So yeah, I'm getting there at 11:30, then you got to get dressed, get the bike off, warm it up. 12 on the trail, half the day is over.
I tried to roll it and lean it, but that didn't work.
Yeah, I gotta get better about that. It's funny because I almost low-sided the bike there.
Did, but I'm too afraid to get that close to that tree.
But what's interesting is that was kind of a tight turn in my...
I'd like to use that as a berm, or at least know how to do that, but
my speed. I keep interrupting myself.
Me and trees have this special relationship.
But my speed...
We just stay away from each other.
I'm so stupid sometimes. Oh God. So I noticed when I almost low-sided there that the miles per hour didn't dip below 10, and it was a pretty tight turn. So obviously I'm just being more aggressive on leaning the bike there. But yeah, I just need to continue to find that line of like how much can I lean the bike in some of those tighter corners. I always made sure I slowed down a little extra here because, you know, there's a barbed wire fence there. Just didn't want anything crazy to happen. You don't feel solid in this section right here with the rocks and the loose sand. Look at the front tires going crazy, but now that we get back on the like actual regular dirt, I feel a lot better, a lot more planted and secure. 90-degree turns, I noticed like I carried like pretty much 8 miles per hour through those. It's good.
Yeah, I missed the back brake again.
Yeah, like I said, the third and fourth lap, I think I was hitting my stride on these tight sections.
With the tree
Here's
right
that off
there.
camber
People
turn.
addicted, you can see.
When you see the marks on the tree, you know, like at least probably 4 or 5 people have run into it. So I definitely in the past have had a problem with target fixation, and like if there's a tree in the corner, I would, especially like midway to 3/4 way through the corner, I would focus on that tree. And man, it took me a long time to knock that habit out. But now when I see a tree in the corner, I automatically look away from it and up the trail. So it's just something that I had to do over and over again. And I know now that it's just, I kind of really don't even need to think about it. I've done it. Yeah, I've done it so much now, so that's a good habit that I've picked up. I definitely don't look up the trail as much as some people. Like Brian from Seed Time, man. Yeah, I forgot about that ledge there. So Brian from Seed Time, he really, so I got up to 34 there, that's pretty good. He really looks up the trail, like over exaggerating, looks up the trail.
In the middle of the turn, I would roll through the turn a lot faster. But I'm not about hitting one of those and then low siding.
Complaining. Did you hear that? So there were some rocks in a turn, and I was complaining, like, if somebody would just take care of those rocks in the turn, I'd be a lot more aggressive. Like, you know, the trail sweeper coming out here to clean up the rocks. That's what I'm asking for. So, I mean, really, I'm just complaining, being a crybaby, so just need to shut up and ride. We're about to go in a couple minutes around that lake and then hit that tight section again. But man, I had so much fun this day, and just learning how to ride seated again. It was a lot of fun. I got a long way to go. But I definitely made a lot of progress from lap 1 to lap 5. That's something I never would have done last year, is 35 miles per hour on a short section like that. Alright, this is the section with all the 90-degree turns. Is that GPS wrong? Because it says I only got down to 8 there. Either it's wrong or I'm getting a lot better here. riding pretty aggressive now. It's not necessarily like super aggressive, it's just smooth and fast, in my opinion. So yeah, it got down to the 6th there. That was just a tough little corner. So definitely had a lot better roll speed going through that section that time. Either the watch was broken or I did a lot better on this last lap. I wouldn't put it past the watch being broken. I'm still not that great. But I sure as hell am trying, man. I'm trying to get better. And I'm having so much fun doing it. This next race we're racing, it's so hard to pass in the woods. If I can get a good jump, and I don't even want to say that out loud, because if I put so much, here's where I knocked the front tire. No? Must have happened on a different lap.
Whoa,
But if I can get a good jump and be like maybe mid-pack.
Some fucking little stump
Yeah, it
standing
was
up there
that,
almost took
that
me
little
out.
shortcut.
Can't see it.
Yeah, no. There's no traction in this turn. Look, it's all shiny. So if I can get a good jump off the start and be mid-pack going into the woods, I'm a decent rider in the woods and no one can pass me. So that's my strategy. Now, if I say I need a good start, then I'm gonna have so much pressure. Last year I rode this course, I blamed the bike out. And it was a different bike, but I got so trigger happy that I just opened that throttle up before it caught. It was old carbureted 4-stroke, so it's more susceptible to that, but I was so pissed. I was last off the line. But if I get a good start on this bike, not pop a wheelie, because it wants to wheelie. Oh, I was practicing feathering the clutch 2 weeks ago off the start, because I just wanted to just drop that thing. And if you do that on this bike, it wants to throw the front end up. So yeah, I want to get a good start, mid-pack into the woods, and then just kind of fend off the guys to the end. Yeah, I didn't want to go get my head hit again. But I definitely think if there's if I can ride well, and there's one track or one course that suits me, it's this race coming up. So I will be really, I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I really need to do well and not finish last this time, because I'm sick of finishing last.
No stall.
Yeah, I'm so proud of myself for pulling the clutch in and not stalling, even though that's not the right way to do it. But you heard the engine. I think it probably would have stalled. Alright, so I think this is 4th gear wide open here. Let's see what I get up to. So I only got up to 45 there, which is interesting. Alright, it's in the 140s. So that's interesting because, I mean, maybe I just didn't have built up enough speed to make fourth gear worth going up into fourth gear. But the previous lap, I was in third there and had it pinned, and I got up to 49.3. So
My suspension just absorbs that bump like awesome. I love it.
I mean, the RPMs were definitely higher in third there. You can tell I was.
Than my 2006 bike. Go bigger.
I actually don't know. That was funny. I don't know what the rev limiter actually sounds like on this bike. I've never hit it, and if I have, then maybe I just didn't notice. But yeah, definitely was running a lot higher RPMs. Third wide open. So that's, I'm guessing, I'm not a huge bike guy, but I'm guessing that's why I was 4 miles per hour faster. That's a good corner. And this is that rut corner that I'm just not a fan of.
This is that section that you don't want to stand in or sit in. It's so tight though.
So last year they threw in the sand track on this race we're having up. And I think I'm going to try to go this week if it doesn't rain and practice that couple corners, because one thing that I was doing was going to the outside on a lot of corners. And you can go to the outside if you rail the corners, but I don't rail the corners, so I was losing a lot of time going to the outside on these big sweeping motocross corners. We're just passing me to the inside like crazy, so definitely need to go inside. Even if there's a rut there, I need to take the rut, not be afraid to hurt myself, tip the bike over or whatever.
Weight back. But I did it anyway.
So what I have to do is shine on the trail and just go par on the track part.
I almost hit that dead center,
Like,
that diagonal route.
If I can do that.
I'm glad it wasn't bigger or wetter.
If you want to...
Still can't hit that tarn very well.
If you want to see me bust my ass on diagonal routes, go check out my enduro video back from February. You'll see me bust my ass bad. Me and diagonal routes, they just don't mix very well. One thing I haven't really learned is where do you hit them? Like, I know you can't hit them in the center. Do you hit them like at the end of the route, or you try to hit at the beginning of the route? I don't really know. I gotta figure that part out. I felt like I executed that little hill, it was probably like a 10-15 foot hill, pretty well every time. I'm actually halfway decent at slipping the clutch, getting traction going up those hills. So just where we ride, you have to do that a lot. That's such a crisp move right there. What gear am I in? Am I in first? I don't know. Let's slow down and figure out what gear we're in.
That was a first.
That's such a me move.
That was some fucking power braking there. That was awesome.
That was pretty good. Kept it above 11.
And you can see by that I didn't grow up riding. But yeah, I really learned how to ride that well until last year. This year I've just been improving upon that stuff.
There I am. Trying to talk and write. Trying to talk and ride at the same time, and I stalled it. For those of you who don't know me, I didn't grow up riding, so watch me stall the bike going into this corner. This was so much fun, this whole course. It was so flowy. There's that one tight section, but it's a fun course to ride. We need to have more of these ride days. Yeah, thank you to Riders2Racers. It's called Riders2Racers, R2R, for putting this on. Kirby did such a good job getting the land borrowed or whatever you have to do, setting up the course, cutting trail, marking the course, promoting the event. It was fun. I'm gonna take this in third again, this section. I'm going a lot faster this time, for sure. Coming through here at like 25.
Alright, that was 70 minutes plus 25, so 90 minutes. 95 minutes.
So I did like 90 or 100 minutes somewhere in there. It's pretty good. I could have rode for longer. I wasn't exhausted at all. But I did. You can see as I get back here, there's... I probably cut the video, but there's no more cars. They're all gone.
All right, hopefully you can hear me. It's kind of windy out here, so I'm trying to like duck behind my truck here so I can at least get a spot without so much wind. My impressions of this place was it was so much fun. I think it was just a perfect mix of open, super tight, semi-tight, and then just some flowy stuff too. I took the hard lines on the first lap, but then after that I was like, you know, I did them. No expert lines, but I did them. I don't want to hurt myself, so I'll just take the easy lines the rest. I came into today thinking that I was going to practice standing, power forward, braking back while standing the whole time. But there was so many 90-degree and even greater than 90-degree turns that those are just, it's much better to just sit in those turns. You can just lean the bike more, you can get to the outside, you can weight the outside peg. And I was just thankful that they were there because I got a lot of seated practice today. I've been standing so much, just working on my standing technique, that my sitting technique is kind of like not doing so hot lately, but today hopefully, and I can go so much faster sitting down. It's not even funny. It gets me thinking sometimes why I just don't sit more in races, that is. But I'll tell you what, when I end the race and I've stood a majority of the time, my butt's not sore and I feel a lot more comfortable on sketchy stuff, like with a lot of bumps and roots and sitting in that stuff, just no. Yeah. I definitely hope we get to have a ride day here again sometime. You know, the weather's perfect right now. It's gonna start getting really hot the next couple months, but I definitely had a lot of fun, and hopefully we can come back out, or other new places. It's always fun to ride in new places. All right, thanks for watching.